actually going to be a reading vlog for the Feelingmyshelf book club book of the month for August, which is The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. It might have been some time since there's actually a video up on my channel, and that's because my laptop died right on the brink of a new academic year that is going to be a lot more online than it would have been because of the global pandemic, which is great, but hopefully I can get some videos up somehow. And there have been some updates on the book club itself. Feelingmyshelf book club is an Instagram book club that was started by Adopted by Addams, or my good friend Zara. And Zara's book club is something that I was really excited about right from the start, and I have read all the books that have come through the book club. Sometimes I took a bit longer than a month to do it, but she's asked me to actually join her in partnership on the book club, so now I'm kind of helping behind the scenes on the Feelingmyshelf book club. So to celebrate our friendship and join together in partnership on the book club, we decided that August's theme was going to be sisterhood, and we put up 4 books and stories to vote on, and the books that you guys voted for was actually The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett, which was our hardback option for the month. And I've just started reading that yesterday. By the time I picked this up yesterday, Sarah had already read the book and reviewed it, but you can trust me to actually leave it till the last week in August to start reading the book. I actually take the dust jackets off hardback books when I'm actually reading them so that I don't tear the paper, but I'll just put it back on so I can tell you what the book is about. Isn't she so pretty? I've actually got the Waterstones edition, which has an exclusive introduction by Bernardine Evaristo, which was actually really sweet. The Vanishing Half is about 2 identical twin sisters who, after growing up in a small southern black community, decide to run away together at age of 16. However, they end up splitting off, with many years later one of the sisters coming back to the small southern community with her black daughter, and across the country the other twin sister secretly passing as white and living with a white husband who knows nothing of her past. Although separated by many miles and just as many lives, the fate of the twin sisters remain intertwined. Weaving together multiple strands and generations from the deep south to California from the 1950s to the 1960s, The Vanishing Half is at once a riveting, emotional family story and a brilliant exploration of race, gender and identity, and the lasting influence of the past on how it shapes a person's desires and expectations. I got 50 pages into the book yesterday, and there's a lot more of a mystery element to it than I was expecting, and we sort of knowing about one sister, but the other sister is actually being left a complete mystery, and I have a feeling that there's going to be some really cool secrets that are going to intertwine between them all. And so far there is a good sense of the characters being fleshed out and how completely different the twins are to each other despite being twins. So I'm really intrigued at how this is going to play out, especially the idea of not being able to escape history. I'm 100 pages in now. I'm actually finding that I'm only doing about a chapter in each sitting because the chapters tend to be about 30 or something pages long, so they are quite long chapters. And we've just had a time jump. We've now jumped to 1978 instead of in the 60s, which means we're now following Desiree's daughter Jude instead of Desiree, who was the twin that came home to Mallard. Well, this book is wholly full of surprises. We've just skipped to the 70s and we're following Jude now instead, and we've just found out that one of our main characters / love interest is actually a trans man, and we also have drag queen side characters and a tiny little discussion about the difference between drag and trans. So this is something I wasn't expecting in this book, and it just keeps surprising me. About 10:30 and I've got 120 pages left of The Vanishing Half, so I think I might try and finish this tonight. And today we did go and I did buy myself a new laptop. That's all my furlough money gone, but I can't do without a laptop with my master's degree, so it's a possibility that I might actually be able to get a YouTube vlog up tomorrow if I finish reading this book tonight. How about that, Lulu? Do you think I can do it? So I didn't end up finishing this last night. I actually got to the final section and that leaves me about 40-ish pages left to read. I forgot to factor in the fact that I can read about 150 pages in a night, reading into night. If it's a YA paperback book, I forgot this is a hardback adult book, and so definitely my reading pace was going to be slower for this, but still holding out hope to be able to finish it soon. So I've just finished reading our August book, which is The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett, and I have to say this book kept surprising me. There are lots of twists and turns and directions I wasn't expecting it to go in, and there's a bit more of a mystery element to it than I was expecting as well. It's marketed towards the idea of one twin deciding to live a life as black and the other twin deciding to pass over and live a life as white, but it actually delves into so much more than this. It's a lot more than that, and it has its fingers in a lot more pies. For example, one of the characters on the main love interest being a trans man and all sorts of things like that, so that surprised me and that kept me reading. I also really like that we have a mixture of characters who have had failures and characters that do actually have successes, and there's also some relationships that are successful, and I find sometimes in adult books that the relationships are very depressing and all about adultery and all that sort of thing, but there are some really nice and wholesome relationships in this, and characters do get successes such as medical school, and one character which I wasn't expecting actually becoming a maths professor, so that was really enjoyable to actually read about some nice things as well as the parts of this which are a bit more like harsh realities. I've said this before, but I don't really click with the pacing of adult contemporary books, and I still found this to be the case with this book, such as the ending. It takes its time to wrap things up, so that's just my personal preference, that I don't click with the pacing with adult contemporary books that well. So I'm giving The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett a solid 4 stars. I really did enjoy it more than I expected, but I still just don't click with this sort of pacing, but it was a lot more than it was advertised and a lot more than I was expecting it to be. So thank you for watching, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.